great things from a space that is much more unseen. That the way you communicate with people, the way you speak to them, the way you connect with them can in fact be the remedy for you to get what it is that you truly desire. Can in fact be the great ask in that way, right? Hello, Capricorn. My name is Kristen Simone Hansen, and welcome to SeaGoat Secrets. Hi Capricorn, I'm Kristen and I'm a healer. In this video, you are going to get a full rundown of Capricorn's energy for the month of October and how it affects you and your career. I begin with the astrology and I end with a card reading. If at any point in this video you feel connected to me and would like to become a client of mine, you can do so by joining this link here and also in the bio. I welcome you. And if you would like to know what my clients are saying about me and my client circle, you can find that link to my Trustpilot here as well. And as you all know, I am a global citizen. And so if you have not already, please let me know where you're listening from in the comments and we can all connect and be a strong collective. Now, with all that being said, let's get into this. Hi Capricorn, so here we are in the month of October. And this is quite interesting because obviously when we look at what happened in September, there was a lot of change. There was a lot of intense heaviness that took place in the month of September when it came to your career and your practical matters. And that was because of the ways in which how do you say you shifted from being an Aries into being a Pisces, Capricorn, because of the way in which Saturn went from Aries back into Pisces. You changed your sense of identity. You changed your priorities. When Aries was in Saturn, it was difficult for you in general. This is us reviewing September, so you guys know. When Aries was in Saturn, it was difficult for you in general because you went from a much more cool, calm, collected energy. Right before you entered into Aries and Saturn, you could have been feeling the woes of victimization as well. That tends to happen when we transition into a Saturnian energy. We go all the way down, so we learn to value the new narrative, the new shift, right? So feeling so victimized, feeling so out of control, feeling like like reality was bigger than you. And then the Aries Saturn gave you a huge kick, a big pep in your step at the beginning of the summer and showed you your own empowerment, showed you your own power. It also awakened a lot of anger. It awakened a lot of could have been rage, hidden emotions, things that you had tolerated that you would no longer tolerate, different ways that you wanted to see yourself and understand yourself, value yourself, prioritize yourself. All of these things changed, and it was quite extensive as well. And the summer was hot, it was heavy for you, and it was this, this deep awakening of self-worth, self-wealth kind of conversation. But it was not easy. You had to become aware of the things that were hard. You had to become aware of the things that would ask for, let's say, more effort, more energy from you, and the different things that you had to do that would break through your sense of courage when it came to getting your life in order, basically, and reaching the next step. Now, when we look at September, this energy took a cool down. Your relationship sector was prioritized in September. It was more your personal relationships, your interpersonal relationships that took the center stage, and your practical life could have felt very tested in September, especially in the first half of September when things were very watery, things were very mucky. You shifted into Pisces in retrograde. When it came to Saturn, in our minds is still the Neptune being an Aries energy, so you versus the other, what you think you have to fight for. Old conversations, old communications, things you will not do again. And this is all happening when it comes to this energy of the Aries of Neptune shifting, excuse me, of Saturn shifting itself back into Pisces. The old is asking to be revisited. Now it's a cool down kind of energy for you, but you're realizing how much stronger you are versus how you were previously. The lessons that you've learned over the past couple of years about how to do business, how to communicate, how to network, and how to not allow people to get over on you. These are all the kind of conversations that have come up for you during this time period in the first half of September. Was not easy. Business could have slowed down. The world could have felt like it was bigger than you. You could have felt washed away. Now, the second half of September, this energy started to lift off of you as we looked at the Virgo new moon that made it so that you could start to see the possible, or more like you could start to see the possibilities of what could happen for you, what you could create, what could be, yeah, what could be had for you. And these are the kind of things that took place at the second half of September. It was a shift in energy. But when we look at the month of October, SeaGoat, it's a different, let's say it's a different narrative, because in this case, where things felt again darker or heavier, in the month of September, like we said, it was like this energy came off of you. It was broken off of you, as you stepped into the second half of September. And that drum roll, maybe everything will work out, maybe things will be okay, maybe I can see possibilities in places that I did not see them previously, maybe this can work out, maybe I can do things differently, speak to the right people, things like that. That kind of energy takes you into October. So when we jump into October, the 6th of October makes it so that we see Mercury entering itself into Scorpio along with the full moon happening in Aries. So this puts an end to that feeling that you have to fight. It puts an end to that feeling that you've been having, that you have to step out on faith and move through courage and believe in yourself even when you do not want to. And old ideas of conditioning that you're breaking through. A lot of you who have ever had scarcity mindset, or again, told you could not do it, told you could not make it, whatever thing that you experienced in your childhood that is standing in the way of your feelings of what stability could mean for you, how you could have stability, how you could create stability, how you could create success. All of these things have been coming up to break you. All of these things have been coming up to reshape you. So during this time, when we're looking at this first step into October, the first week of October, it's a close when it comes to that. It's what it is that you've been working on when it comes to rebuilding yourself, fighting for yourself, seeing worth in yourself, value in yourself, cracking through old conditionings, childhood perspectives. For some of you, I'm just going to say outright, if you ever had a parent, particularly a mother energy, that made you feel like you were incapable, or you looked to her as something you did not want to do or something you did not want to recreate in your life, this is another conversation that could have been happening inside of you. The funny thing about career and practical matters right now, Capricorn, and why September was so difficult is because it feels so emotional. It feels so internal. It's not so easy like it used to be, where it's this practical, make these steps, get this return. Because of the way in which Pluto is moving through Aquarius, Pluto wants to get you to understand your worth, your wealth, right? That wealth is created from worth, and worth is inside. Worth is internal. And so it feels so much deeper than it used to. It feels different. It feels like something that comes from a deeper place within yourself, and it's changing you. Now it's changing you for the better. It's asking you for more. It's giving you so much more than what you would have had previously. But it's not an easy energy when you rely on the external. When the external, wanting the external to show you something simple, uh, is not the case, let's say right now, right? It's more how you are shifting and changing internally in order to bring in what it is that you want on the external, right? But this has been the conversation for a long time, SeaGoat, especially for those of you guys when it comes to the mother, what you will not create again, or breaking out of whatever negative spells. If you have a mother wound or some kind of negative relationship with the mother, breaking out of that, breaking out of family, generational patterns and things like that. So there's this end that happens when it comes to this, saying you no longer want to fight, you no longer want to be in work environments that no longer serve you. You're tired of this feeling of things feeling too difficult, things feeling too heavy, repeating cycles. Again, conflicts at work. It's ending that story as full as the Mercury steps into Scorpio. You're much more passionate about who you're speaking to. You want a change in your network. You want to change in your social standing. You want to change in your who it is. As I always say, network equals net worth. And this is the thing that comes up for conversation when it comes to you, Capricorn. You're stepping out of that mucky, slower space that September had you in, and getting your fin back, let's just say, because we're going into this Piscean energy. You're stepping off of land for a bit with Aries and that pressure, and going into the ocean, and remembering that you can in fact wield great things from a space that is much more unseen. That the way you communicate with people, the way you speak to them, the way you connect with them can in fact be the remedy for you to get what it is that you truly desire. Can in fact be the great ask in that way, right? But it can indeed bring about a new story. So when we step into the 13th of October, here we have Venus entering into Libra, Pluto's finally going direct. And we have this fast movement as Libra is merging with Aqua energy. And what do I mean by this? When we're looking at Venus being in Libra, Pluto being in Aquarius direct, and then we're also in Libra season, lots of movement because we're talking about air. Okay, so fast change, fast evolve, fast growth. This is the thing about you, SeaGoat. Things will feel different in October. That mucky, slower energy gets off of you, but it comes from other people. So there's an increase in the way you're seeing yourself when you get through the second half of October. You're no longer in retrograde when it comes to Pluto. You're no longer being tested to the brim of your own frustration and your resistance against not being treated in a way that you feel you deserve, or not getting paid the way you feel you deserve, or not dealing with what it is that you think is better for you when it comes to work, things that you will no longer tolerate. This has been the conversation. I will no longer tolerate this work environment. I will no longer tolerate getting less than what I deserve. I will no longer tolerate this feeling of feeling overworked, whatever it may be. When we step into the second half of October, this gets released. So the projects that you have been building and working on, because of this feeling of fight, you're starting to open your eyes and see that they have what you've created out of this feeling of insecurity is quite stable. So when you felt insecure, you created security. When you felt undermined, maybe you changed your job. Whatever it is that you did that was rooted in a feeling of instability created an optimum amount of stability on the external, and is quite successful. And this is what happens when we step into the second half of October, and this energy moves quickly. This Libra happening in Venus makes you aware of your 10th house. Venus is kissing you in terms of your public image, and the 10th house is you, SeaGoat. So you tend to do a lot of movement in Libra season because you're comfortable in the 10th house. And this is showing you how to get more beautiful in your public presentation, that there is more value in your public presentation, that you have realized. Again, people is the name of the game for you when it comes to October, and people pouring into you will help you see progress, will help you move forward in terms of progress, get you out of whatever blockages, lowness that you've been feeling. September could have made you feel so low, SeaGoat, that you felt like you lost hope. And a lot of it, again, had to do with the transits that were taking place and why. And the nudge toward leaning on other people as Cancer being in Jupiter, leaning, forcing you out of your own sense of personal empowerment so that you can align with the idea of empowerment being gained and or felt through other people. Very difficult experience, but it has let's say a positive connotation to it. It's like everything. So when we're looking at that Libra energy, we go into the 21st of October and we see the new moon happening in Libra. So again, more awakening, more open eyes. This is who I am. And in fact, the world can see value in who it is that I am. There's a great awakening. So in September, we saw a dip in self-worth, to in October, an increase in self-wealth, right? And or darkest before dawn, the fall before the rise, right? SeaGoat. And this was to make it so that you did the things that you needed to do in order to restore the self from an internal level. And so we see that when it comes to this new moon in Libra, that shows you that you are someone of great value. You are someone of great status. You are someone that people like. You're someone that people listen to. You're someone that has a strong sense of, let's say, alignment. And other people can see that. Other people value that. Your networking is powerful this month. Very, very powerful. From there, we step into the Neptune retrograde happening in Pisces, or Neptune retrograde moves into Pisces, which softens things. And on the same day, the sun goes into Scorpio. So we're still in the energy of the new moon in Libra happening at this time. Again, when the sun enters into Scorpio and Neptune retrogrades into Pisces, this takes away that fight. The thing about you, SeaGoat, you're going to be battling between, again, you versus the other. What you have to fight for versus what is easy for you. Do you belong here or don't you belong here? Who is for you and who is against you? That kind of energy sits with intensity and fighting against old ideas about what is possible for you. All of that takes place in October. And then when we look at the 22nd, as Neptune retrogrades into Pisces, it puts you into a space that is softer on the mind. It says, okay, I no longer am feeling that I have to fight for my place here, but how do I communicate who it is that I am? Am I understood? I'm focused on being understood. Am I being misunderstood? Is there an illusion wrapped around who it is that I am? And this gets awakened by the sun in Scorpio, because the sun in Scorpio is all about your social dynamics. So it's about people, right? So as you're in this conversation, or conversations, let's just say, when it comes to other people and how they see you and how they're connecting with you, uh, your networking, your ability to network, your clients, your customers, who you're talking to, your colleagues, your bosses, there's a nice swimming act that happens when it comes to this energy. Scorpio loves you, SeaGoat. Scorpio reminds you of your authenticity. Scorpio reminds you of who you are. Scorpio opens doors for you. Every time Capricorn merges with Scorpio, Scorpio comes in and shows Capricorn what the possibilities are socially. Scorpio reminds Capricorn how powerful Capricorn is when Capricorn feels weak. Scorpio reminds Capricorn how great Capricorn's manifestations can be, how vibrant and brilliant Capricorn's life can indeed be. Scorpio reminds Capricorn of this. And as Scorpio does this, this is again what expands Capricorn in terms of opening its eyes to seeing an old, let's say, honestly, I wanted to say a new world, which I know is quite cliche because it's a song, but I have to be honest here. It's a new world opens up, right? But it's a new world based on your truth. So if you felt like you didn't belong in one environment, there's an openness to belonging in a new one. If you were trying to deal with a legal matter, you're working with the wrong people, there's this fight gets surrendered when we step into Scorpio season, and doors open when it comes to that. People listening, and your main focus at this point is making sure you're being communicated well. But people see you clearly beyond you seeing yourself. There's a newness in the air. There's a shift in the air. And it's quite beautiful, SeaGoat. And I like this energy for you in particular. From there, the next day, we see Jupiter squaring Chiron. So what will happen here is there can be a resistance internally tied to the way in which your life is expanding, your relationship network life is expanding. This can have some of you kind of going into an insecurity about whether you deserve the social life that's opening up for you. Do you deserve this new job? Do you deserve these new clients? Do you deserve this new network? Are you enough? If it's not happening internally, it can show up on the external, where literally, especially for those of you who are in close quarters with your family, or for any reason finding yourself around old worlds or old paradigms of yours, some kind of thing that makes you feel like you can't, and it doesn't feel so heavy, but it feels so minute, like a moment that says you can't do that, or sitting in a room and realizing that you're the first one to be able to do it, that no one around you, no one in your environment has been able to create what it is that you've been able to create, or open these doors, or be in this space, that you aren't the same person that you were before when you were young, or you've broken through the veil. There's an awareness that you've broken through the veil, and it's crashing up against what you once were. So this square, I like this square because it pushes through a wound. The square pushes through a wound as your Jupiter expands. As the people expand, the wound breaks, if you get what I'm saying. And then from there, we finish off the month with Mercury going into Sagittarius. And so as Mercury enters into Sagittarius, this is you trying to move through your blockages from a subconscious level. Also, this is you looking at investments, hidden investments, and what it is that you want to do with them. I would say, more than anything, I have to be honest with you, SeaGoat, there's something about October that feels very internal. It feels very emotional. And so even where we're looking at your practical matters, and in general, what's going on with Pluto for you, there's something about you needing to reshape and revise your internal relationship to your external life. That a lot of the things that you're trying to accomplish in your career, your practical life, is based on this misalignment happening within you. There's so much insecurity. There's so much inside, right? So it's happening on the outside, and I have to be honest, I'm not necessarily focused on the practical. Normally I would say legal matters or investments, or with a house, or work or money, and I just don't feel that. So there's something about October that feels so much about changing the way you feel about things, and watching your network expand, but without very little effort from you. It's expanding because of how other people see you. It's expanding because of how they feel about you. It's expanding because they see you. You are seen. You have done the work. And so now it's like you're experiencing, let's say, you're experiencing the perks of that work. And it's all about who you are, SeaGoat. And it does feel emotional. I know this is your career, but to be completely honest, it feels self-esteem, self-worth. Can you do this? Doors opening, self-value. It feels deeper in that way. And then you finish off the month wanting to rework subconscious beliefs. So for a lot of you, breaking through scarcity, breaking through a feeling like you're not enough, or breaking through whatever ideas that you've had about your insecurities or misalignments with self, or can you get the legal outcome that you desire? There's this thing that happens in the month of October where you realize that it's in your head, right? And your self-esteem increases. And then you end October feeling like you want to break through whatever subconscious blockages have been sitting inside of you. And this also pans out in terms of what it is that you're doing with work, really putting in the work to change the way you look at your streams of income, to change the way you've seen yourself in your work environment, or to break through the perils of whatever scarcity or value mindset that you possibly have. And that's what I have for you, SeaGoat. I have to be honest when I say that for me, as a reader for the month of October, it feels much more internal, much more belief system, much more emotion tied to these very practical things. Okay, so I love you so very, very much, SeaGoat. And we're going to get into the reading now. Hi, Capricorn. So here we are with your practical reading for the month of October. And this is interesting, SeaGoat. So we see a major arcana happening in your subject matter, but also a major happening in your shadow. So we've kind of got a bit of a neck and neck kind of energy, Capricorn. The Fool guides you this month. The Fool is navigating you this month. And this shows us that you're taking new steps, new beginnings. The baggage is off of you, SeaGoat. There's something about your practical life that feels like you know that you're starting new. The possibilities feel limitless. You're stepping out on new opportunities. You're stepping out on new faith. You know that what has happened before does not have to affect what's happening right now. And Capricorn, this is backed up by the beautiful 9 of Hearts. So I love this energy, SeaGoat. It's fulfilling. You feel fulfilled. You're focusing on creating the life that you want. This is the wish fulfillment you were looking for, which is October gives you a fresh start. There's something about October that feels very new. It feels brand new. It feels nice, SeaGoat. It feels very, very nice. But this is, again, confirmed with karmic relationship. which is again, so as you navigate this new paradigm and feeling this new reality, feeling fulfilled, feeling good within yourself, there is something about this that feels old. So you're going to be playing old games in new faces, playing old games in new places. Nothing to worry about here, though, as I said, SeaGoat, because this is navigation. This is how you are doing this dance. It feels very good. You're feeling fulfilled. You're feeling brand new. This is what it is that you wanted. These cups are getting filled one by one, This heart is being, yeah, this 9 of hearts, right? There's this fullness that's happening. There is this joy that's happening. There is this fulfillment that is happening, but it also brings up old stories. It also is, yeah, it's a new life that repeats an old life or helps you heal an old paradigm. Let's just say that. So when we're looking at the Page of Swords, this is backed up by the Ace of Hearts. And this is here with butterfly. So relationship evolving, healing, growing. Capricorn, I just keep saying again, there's something about this month that brings up old things so that you can heal them, brings up old triggers so you can realign to something new, something better. And this is backed up by the Page of Swords here, along with the Ace of Hearts. I can't help but feel like, again, you're in a space where there's something about communication, lots of conversation, but you're feeling renewed through these conversations. You're feeling renewed through who it is that you're talking to, how you're talking to them, the emotional fulfillment, renewal. It feels nice. So you go, it's a nice, God, it's an emotional energy. We have a lot of air here, but it's a new paradigm. The conversations feel better. The conversations feel good. The new reality feels good. It feels like the past is the past. And when the past feels like the past, that's a nice energy. But like we said, of course, we see this healing, we see this growing, we see this transformation happening through this new paradigm. But it is a new song. It's a new song, Capricorn, that's just causing healing. It's nice. I like this. In your shadow, we have the Three of Canes, along with, I believe that is I never say this word correctly, Capricorn, I'm sorry, ambo. So this energy lets me know that what it is that you fear is that you will not get what it is that you want, that your ships will not come in, you will not be satisfied, you will not be happy. Also a fear that things have to be harder than you want them to be, that you have to power through, you have to push through. It's going to be more difficult than you want it to be. You're not going to get what it is that you want, Capricorn. I would say that your fears feel, I don't mean to sound condescending, but they feel silly this time around. I apologize, but I just can't help but feel like this is going to be good. This is going to be good. This is new. This is new is good. Conversations that feel like Ace of Hearts, those are good. Those are good conversations, SeaGoat. That's healing. That's transformation. That's evolving. That's you're getting that fresh energy you wanted. That newness that you wanted. That baggageless feeling that you were looking for. Now, when we look at advice, we have beyond the heart, the mind beats with diving for light. So there's a lot tied here to anxiety. So again, your anxieties, your fears telling you that you can't get what you want, it's going to be more difficult than necessary. Beyond your anxieties, your heart still stands. Again, more information tied to emotional fulfillment and diving for light. So again, focus on the positive, SeaGoat. This is a month to get out of your head and focus on the positive. And I'm going to run into the healing points because these make me happier than ever because we see that there is this, you're protected, SeaGoat. You are this gentle, loving creature, being. This is an earth energy. I believe both of these are earth energies, which we love to see earth energies in practical readings. This is happening in reality. So this is happening in your life. You're going to be made aware of your protection, of your divine protection, of you being kind of like we mentioned in the astrology, right? You being enough and things like that. But there's something about your purity. There's something about your protection. You don't have to worry this month, SeaGoat. You do not have to worry. Things are nice. Things are nice. Things are new. Things are new. They are new, and people are talking to you. Without any force, you can overcome even extreme negativities. Your real nature is gentle, which is powerful in its own unique way. You do not need to become something you are not. You can confidently and effectively invoke spiritual protection from the light. You can never be dominated or bullied at a spiritual level because the real you is always empowered and protected in the light. So, in very simple, and this is usually my Page of Pentacles energy, SeaGoat. So it's like this. The healing point here is there's an innocence. And you know, when we're talking about the fool is an innocent energy. The fool is wise enough to know to be attached to nothing. The fool is wise enough to know to let go, right? And the fool, being Aquarius, can have this childlike, you know, in other ways, maybe devil may care. I apologize, I don't know that phrase so well, but it's it can be this youthful, sweet, kind of impressionable, unexpected kind of energy. And this is that purity that matches you with the healing point. You're okay, SeaGoat. You're okay. You can go. You can adventure. You can experience. You can step out on these nice impulses and have this new story. There's something about the past that feels over. There's something new. And you've been wanting this. You've been desiring this. You've been needing this, right? You've been needing this nice energy, this wish fulfillment, this getting what it is that you want. Finally, it's behind me, you know? And again, these conversations, there's a lot tied to people that you're talking to, and it feels good, and it's healing you. It's really, really healing you. And it's good because September was quite a difficult month when it came to practical matters. And October is a very different energy. It's a very different energy. These things are behind you. Things aren't as bad as you thought. And then we have more practical energy, more earth energy. A spiritual gift shall enter your heart and manifest as a blessing in your life. You have innate talents and abilities which will support your soul into full glorious manifestation, Capricorn. You have been blessed with a beautiful divine destiny to fulfill. You have a natural healing ability. Choose your thoughts and words so they reflect that which you wish to put out into the world, because your influence is stronger and further reaching than you realize, SeaGoat. Your influence is stronger and further reaching than you realize. This is nice. I just can't say it in any other way. And then at the bottom of the deck here, we have Dakini, which is and Diva Patra. Both of these are about other people. Both of these are about understanding the teachers, the teachings, the people, your connections, and them reaching out to you. So again, your connections are going to teach you about you. There is this, like we talked about, you know, there is this awareness of self, of like, it's not just I am enough. It's like I'm sorry, dare I say pure, protected. I am talented. I am enough. I am all of these things, you know, and there's this newness. There's a nice, fulfilling, it's a new story. It's a new story, and it feels good. It feels very, very good, and it happens in reality. At the bottom of the tarot, we've got the Two of Swords. So this is like an intuitive conversation, trusting in what it is that you feel and not what it is that you know. Lots of swords, lots of air. Okay, so we've got a lot of air here. And as we're sitting with all of this air energy, it's this confirmation as you move forward. What it is that you will experience, because it feels very new, you're being required to, again, put the blindfold on and not overthink it, not try to judge it. At the bottom of the deck of cards, we've got the Four of Diamonds here. So, you know, we've got this movement, we've got this momentum, we've got this energy, but we also have this need to self-preserve. So as you're sitting in this space of trusting in the intuition, you're keeping things to yourself. You're keeping this kind of, I I don't want to say closed energy, but preserved energy. There's something about preservation. As you're getting what it is that you want, right? As you're expanding and you're evolving and things like that, it feels good, but you also aren't too lost. Let's just say that. You also aren't too lost in things. You're controlled. Let's just say that. And at the bottom of the shadow deck, we have Onitsha Cutlass. Okay, so more fears around, this one may be tied to a little bit of bullying and someone being destructive about you getting what it is that you want. At the bottom of the clarity deck, we have mourning, loss, and then at the bottom of that, we have heartbreak and deception. So again, this is interesting because we were looking at the Four of Pentacles with the Two of Swords, and then we have this karmic relationship, this healing, and also this heartbreak. So it explains this kind of contradictory energy of conversations being good, things feeling new, things feeling brand new, but also this kind of this energy of you needing to be aware of what hurts. And almost like this awareness of what it is that hurts, what it is that has already happened, what has previously happened, it makes it so that you're not too lost in this feeling of things being better than you could possibly think, or getting too lost in things feeling good or feeling okay. Sorry about that, SeaGoat, we got cut off. But you're not lost in things feeling new. Now, this is happening in the subject, so this is not advice for you, SeaGoat. This is just what you're doing. So because of the things that have wounded you previously, especially when it comes to, again, your career, practical matters, these subjects, there's a pain there. There's a sadness that you carry, and it's keeping you preserved. It's keeping you reserved. Let's just say maybe reserved is the word that I want to use. It's keeping you reserved. You're trusting your intuition, and you're kind of being quiet as all of this change and kind of happiness happens, and this newness happens, but you're still being reserved through it all. And that's probably why your advice is needing to step out of anxiety, find more light, and realize that you are safe. But SeaGoat, life isn't so black and white now, is it? Oh, and at the bottom of the advice deck, we have restore and replenish. So again, it goes back into this space of there are things that have hurt before. There are losses that you've experienced. There are hits that you're trying to heal through. There's a bleed. There's blood on the floor. And this month gives you a new opportunity to see things differently, to get a fresh start, to get wish fulfillments, to align with a new paradigm, align with a new story. But you still fear not getting what it is that you want. You still fear what will come. You still fear what will happen. You're renewing and restoring your relationship to your talents and your abilities and what's possible for you. And yeah, it's kind of just a juggling act of what you feel. And I think what you feel is quite valid, SeaGoat. You're healing, you are restoring. But when anyone has to restore, it's because there was something that was broken. And that's just what it is. Now, let's do thinking, feeling, doing, being. All right, so we've got thinking. Ooh, Queen of Pentacles, feeling, being aware of your insecurities, doing. Woo! Capricorn. I love this energy, Capricorn. This is nice. This is nice. But at the bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Swords. The bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Swords. We have the painful, those three swords going into the chest, right? So, Capricorn, this brings me back into the same place with the Three of Swords sitting at the bottom of the deck. You are healing your heart. You are healing your relationship to loss, what has failed in the past, what has hurt in the past. And again, it confirms it with heartbroken before. So you're moving through it this month, SeaGoat. You're moving through it. You're still feeling what has happened before, and this new story is helping you heal what has happened then. This new story, this new start, this fresh reality is helping you heal the wounds of what you're dealing with inside, what is hurt inside, having to address what has happened up until this point. But again, you have this beautiful new reality, but it's meant to heal hurt. Now, in your mind, we've got the beautiful Queen of Pentacles. I love this energy because this is you. This is you, SeaGoat. You are the Queen of Pentacles. Self-worth, self-wealth, right? Being aware of who it is that you are, being aware of what you deserve, being aware of creating the life that you want. Right? What it is that you deserve. This is making it very clear to you that your mind needs to be focused on your money. Your mind needs to be focused on nurturing your practical life. Now, this is not a time to be so focused on building the pentacles in such an extreme way, or building the finances so particularly from just a space of practicality, but more from expanding from a sense of what you now deserve, right? There is a new conversation around your worth and your wealth due to what is it you understand about yourself, right? So the Queen of Pentacles is one who nurtures her career. She nurtures her money instead of just builds it, if you get what I'm saying. Everything that you're creating this month is based on the new way that you're seeing yourself and understanding that you deserve more. So in your emotions, insecurities, SeaGoat, be aware of those insecurities. Be aware of where you're having self-imposed limitations, self-imposed darkness, scarcity mindset, the way in which you're standing in your own way. You need to be aware of this energy, Capricorn, because what it is that you need to do is the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups sitting on top of the Ace of Cups, right? So let in this new emotional story, let in this new emotional paradigm, step toward your career with a new passionate beginning, what it is that you need to do is allow your emotions to be reworked about what's possible for you, about what you're capable to acquire, because you need to be aware that you're simply just standing in your own way, that your emotions are built on insecurities. Every emotion that you feel that is negative is simply self-imposed. It is not real. Allow your mind to be aware of, I deserve more. I deserve the best. I am the Queen of Pentacles, right? And that's where your head needs to be. So you need to be focused on that. The thing about the Ace of Hearts, the Ace of Cups, it's a fresh energy. It's fresh. It's brand new. It's a fresh glass of beautiful water, Capricorn. It is a purified glass of water, and it feels very good. Now, who it is that you need to be? A person that is willing to network, a person that is also focused on what works, not what does not work. Focus on what works. Focus on what keeps going. Focus on the wheel that continues to turn, okay? Because you're getting out of this heartbreak space. You're healing this heartbreak. You're healing this relationship to previous loss. So you have to be focused on a new set of threes, Capricorn. Okay, which is what is working, what is aligning for you, and work with other people, SeaGoat. Work with other people. Like I said, a lot of this new awareness of self comes from your relationship with other people. Other people are helping you this time around. Lots of threes on this deck. Three of Swords, Three of Pentacles, Three of Canes here, right? It's like allow other people to help you write this new story. You're more okay than you realize. Dynasty of Divine Mother. Ooh. Be aware of your decisions, SeaGoat. Think before you act. All right, think before you act. The destiny of Divine Mother is here to let us know. The only wish of the Divine Mother Goddess is that all beings be spiritually free. The Divine Goddess calls us to realize our true nature, to fall in love with our own divinity. Enlightenment is a culmination of many steps, each one as a drop of water, forming a divine ocean of peace, realization, love, and unity within us. An ocean that washes away fear, separation, scarcity, and bathes us in abundance and bliss. You carry the torch of enlightenment within you, beloved. Let it shine each day. Sometimes we imagine enlightened beings to be another species other than everyday humans. Yet there is an old Eastern saying that goes, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. Enlightenment is made manifest through the small actions we take each day. Sometimes the smallest action can feel like an enormous leap. And yet when that action is taken, we realize that the journey into peace is something we can choose to take at any moment. Capricorn. Capricorn. Before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. Bright future, Capricorn. Believe that you can succeed and change your life for the positive. Build your future. Stepping out of, what did we say, Capricorn? Stepping out of scarcity, that Eight of Swords. Stepping out of all these negative feelings towards yourself, these negative emotions towards yourself. Acting as if though being able to be better, being able to be more is something for someone else outside of you, Capricorn. It's not. It's not. Your future is bright. You can have what it is that you desire, but you have to believe it. You have to believe that you are deserving of it. Queen of Pentacles in the mind, Eight of Swords in the emotions, Ace of Cups, renew your emotions. Renew that sense of belief, right? The thing about emotions, Capricorn, the thing about the cups, we're talking about cups energy. Cups are beautiful for many different reasons, but they also can carry poisonous water, right? When we're talking about toxins in the body, right? Where does it come from? Right? Poisonous water. There's a lot of things that can get into a cup. A lot of nasty, icky energies that can get lost in the cups. Right? And for those of you with strong water placements, you know this. You know how easy it is for you to be affected or infected, really, by negative things around you or the ways of the world, right? Piscean energies, Cancerian energies, Scorpio energies can be literally, particularly Pisces and Scorpio, can really be open to the darkest things in our world. The veil is very thin because of the way in which water takes everything in, right? You have to allow that cup to be renewed. You have to allow it to be refreshed. You need to drink a fresh cup of new water, SeaGoat. You are in charge of your emotional body. You are in charge of this new way of feeling your emotions. Allowing a new story, allowing a new narrative. Focus on what works. Become the person this month that's focusing on what can work. And when you don't believe in you, network. This idea that success is in the hands of another person is simply untrue. Break through this lack of way of seeing yourself. Like we said, abundance, the dynasty of Divine Mother. Abundance, bliss, right? Bright future. Believe you can build it and it will build. This month is new. It's new. It's full of hearts. It wants new cups. It wants new stories. It wants a new narrative. It wants you to heal. Okay? Heal your relationship to that failure, to that scarcity, to that loss, to these worries. You are protected. You are okay. No matter how heavy you thought it was. Okay? You don't have to worry that it's going to be more difficult than you thought, SeaGoat. So, I love you so very, very much. Ciao.